Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to show you how to cook rice and potatoes. Now, why do I say rice and potatoes? You may ask why those two. Well, it's because they go so well together. They are a perfect match, okay? It's a very popular meal in many places. So, if you are looking for a great meal for your family dinner, something quick to prepare for lunch, maybe a budget-friendly dish, then this is for you. This video is for you. So stick around, let's get started. Alright guys, so here are my ingredients. Like I said, very simple and basic. We're gonna start by washing our rice and then soaking it for about 30 minutes. That is important. It's not necessary, but it's always better to soak your rice before cooking it. For the potatoes, just peel them, cut them into cubes, or you can dice them, whatever you prefer. Now I'm going to use half of the potatoes that I cut so that I can show you guys better. Alright, so we're just gonna set this aside for now. Next, we need some onions. Yes, we need some onions, garlic and tomatoes. Now I have some fresh tomatoes here. I'm just gonna slice them up real quick. Alright, and then I'm gonna throw in my onions and garlic. Now you can add other spices or chilies or peppers. You can fry them up first, or you could even toast some cumin seeds or coriander seeds. But today we're just keeping it really simple. So once you have your onions, garlic and tomatoes ready, grab a pot or a pan. In this case I'm using a non-stick pan. Add some cooking oil. We're just gonna pour a little bit. We don't need too much because the rice is gonna sort of steam in its own water. So we're gonna put the stove on medium heat and we're just gonna wait for the oil to heat up a little bit. Now once the oil is hot, we're gonna add in our onions, garlic and tomatoes. If you want to add any spices, this is the time to do it. We're just gonna this for a few minutes until the onions start getting translucent, or you see the onions start getting a little bit soft. Then we're gonna add in our potatoes. Now remember, we cut the potatoes into these nice little cubes or pieces. So we're just gonna mix it around, make sure all the potatoes are coated with the oil, and then we're just gonna wait for a couple more minutes. We don't want to rush this process. We just want to let the flavors develop, let the potatoes absorb all the flavors from the spices and the onions and the garlic. Once you've done that, it's time to add in the rice. Now I had soaked the rice for 30 minutes. Make sure you rinse your rice and you soak it for 30 minutes. It makes the rice fluffier. It also makes it cook faster. So we're gonna add in the rice, mix it around, and then we need some water. Now the most important thing here is the ratio of water to rice. So generally speaking, you want to use double the amount of water compared to the rice that you're using. So if you're using 1 cup of rice, you're gonna use 2 cups of water. That's a good ratio. But of course, this also depends on the type of potato that you're using. If you're using waxy potatoes, then you may not need as much water. But if you're using fluffy potatoes, then you may need a little bit more water. So just keep that in mind. Once you have the water added, just bring it to a boil. Once it's boiling, turn the heat down to low and just let it simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. The rice should be fluffy and the potatoes should be tender. You can test the potatoes with a fork. Just make sure they're soft enough. If they're soft, then we're good to go. Okay, so while that's simmering away, let's go ahead and get our serving bowl ready. I'm just gonna wash it real quick. There we go. Now once the rice is cooked, we're gonna fluff it up with a fork. Now you can serve this as it is, but it's always nice to add a little bit of fresh herbs. So I have some fresh coriander here. I'm just gonna chop it up real quick. There we go, nice and fresh. We're just gonna sprinkle it on top. Now you can serve this as is. You can plate it up nicely. Maybe you can add a salad on the side or some sort of stew or sauce. It really does go with everything. It's such a versatile side dish. So that's how you do it, super easy. So there you have it guys. That's how you cook rice and potatoes. Again, super easy, simple, quick, and it's definitely a crowd pleaser. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And also let me know in the comments below if you've tried this recipe. If you have, I would love to hear how it turned out for you. Alright, until next time, take care, bye bye.